Okay, so let's talk about this assignment for weeks 7 and 8, 6 and 7. Um, so this is my render website that we have loaded, and the area we're working on is an inventory right here. So this is my management page that we made over here. Let's pull up the management.ejs, and it's got the title in the messages block. Let's go to, okay, so the add new classification is the first page we made. And what happens is you can create a classification. I won't make another one because I already made plain, but when you put a classification in it, you'll be able to add the classification, and then the classification will show up in our nav because it will be added to the database, and our nav is being pulled from the database. So that plane I had added was a Curtis E, and you can click on it, and it's $1 million, and it has mileage, and the description is it's a boat plane. We just don't have the image because I don't have an image for that in my image file. So it's just pulling the no available image. So let's go to add an inventory item. So that's how I added the plane that we saw over there, the boat plane that didn't have a picture. I added Curtis, and the model was E, I guess. The year is like 1990. Description, a boat plane. And then the path, I just have the automatic image vehicle, not image PNG. So it displays something. And you do the same for the thumbnail, since let's show over here, it'll show up here for the picture, and then also for the picture and the thumbnail on the previous page. Awesome. And then back to the inventory. And you'll also add a price and mileage and color. I wanted to talk about how for those database elements, for the price, miles, and year, they show a 0 just to start off, and then you can put whatever year you want. But the reason I had to do that was because I was breaking something when I used just, this is my add inventory page. Yeah, so it was breaking something when I had just a string for every single inventory item. So for the items that are they're int variables in the database, I had to use zeros to get around that error. But then in the add inventory, I actually just parse those items to fix that. So that's why that works. We've got the management view, the inventory controller is building these functions for build add inventory and add inventory. Our index.ejs down here is building our classification list, which we got from the assignment. So let's look at our validation. So in Lighthouse, our add new classification page has good performance. It doesn't have great SEO because it doesn't have a meta description, but we can fix that. The add inventory page has good performance, bad accessibility, and I think it also doesn't like my background and four colors. I think it's mostly because of this add inventory, and we can fix that. We'll see in the wave over here for add new classification. The contrasters are also coming from the button. I could just make that a little darker and it would probably like that better. But we're getting 0 errors, so that is great. And then the new inventory item, we have the same problem with the contrast. And also an alert about a missing label, since we're pulling the classification ID differently than just normal labels form inputs, because I don't have a label for this, because we're pulling up the choose classification and pulling this from the database as well. So that's what's happening there. But yeah, that is the assignment for add new classification and add new inventory item.